love it, the underdogs on top. And I'm gon' shine, homie, until my heart stop. Go ahead, envy me. I'm Rap's MVP, and I ain't going nowhere, so you keep the underdogs on top. The underdogs on top. Go ahead, envy me. The underdogs on top. And I ain't going nowhere, so you keep getting on it.
Rockin' like the
Rockin' like the 6 on top. Whole club rockin' like the 6.
rockin' like the
Rockin' like the 6 on top. Whole club rockin' like the 6. Rockin' like the 6 on top. The underdogs on top.
rockin' like the
Rockin' like the 6 on top. This nigga did it again. Let me put you on the game.
Hello, pretzels, and welcome back to the tripod. That's right, we are back to talk all kinds of this past week in wrestling. We're kicking things off with a break-in, a spring break-in from NXT. The show kicks off with NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez versus Lyra versus Tatum. What a banger to start. All three women looking fantastic here, trading cross faces. The combo moves, the strikes, everyone's shining bright tonight. Everyone's shining bright tonight, Vic. 450 on the verge of being respected thanks to Tatum. But that old crafty Roxy takes advantage and rolls up Tatum for the retain. But again, great way to start off spring break-in, Sticks. What'd you think of the triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship?
Yes, a heck of a way to start off spring break-in. Putting the women's division to open up the show. I thought this was a really good match for Tatum Paxley. I thought this put her on the radar for potential women's championship contender. Even though she took the pin, she looked really good in the match. Her movesets looked good. I thought the way they had Roxanne win it was very creative, playing the heel, playing up the street of heel for her. All in all, great match. We all know we don't need another title run from Lyra. Maybe she gets called up. I mean, we're recording this on Monday. Maybe by the grace of something, she gets called up to NXT Level Up. So that way we don't have to worry about watching her on main roster or NXT anymore. But all in all, great way to open up the show, and I thought it was a really good showcase for Tatum Paxley.
For all you 2K24 players out there, hopefully she gets drafted to TBD, but I digress. Cesar, we kicked off spring break-in with a triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship. Seeing Roxanne retain, what'd you think?
Yeah, I agree with Sticks, man. Tatum looked the best out of this match out of anybody else. This was the Tatum Paxley come out show, and she did not disappoint. We know Lyra can have matches with big time bitches, and we know Roxanne can have matches with big time bitches, but Tatum, she looked good. She looked great. She fought against Lyra, she fought against Roxy. She did what she had to do to look really, really good in this match, and almost looked like she could get the dub, and the crowd was behind her, which was really the thing. The crowd was behind Tatum. We all know the crowd in NXT dictates the champion. And yeah, Tatum was cooking. She cooked it up good. She cooked it up great. She looked like Chef Ramsay in the match with the new pans that cracker got that y'all should buy. Apparently, I'm not buying that shit. I'm not buying that shit. I don't trust that nigga. You know why I don't trust that nigga? Because he white and he British. So fuck him.
Oi.
Fuck him twice. Oi. But anyway, Tatum, I trust that bitch. Trust that bitch to hold down a good-ass match because she was cooking. And that's what I like.
It was good stuff. Up next, the family with Rizzo versus the No Catch Cracks. Damon Kemp is so damn sloppy. He is still green as grass, and Cross-Eyed Kid must be on that grass for him to keep booking Damon Kemp. Tony D was on fire in this. Stacks once again showing how tough he is. Tony D puts Dempsey away with a hell of a spine buster. Great showing from the family. Baron Corbin and Lexi's Crispy King backstage segment. No one cares. Jada Parker versus Fallon, who has no one. Vic and Booker are bickering. Mind your business, Vic. Mind your business. This was a very good showing from these ladies. Jada wins clean and uses that ass, of course. Cesar, we had the family versus the no catch cracks and Jada Parker versus Fallon Henley. What'd you think?
Yeah, we don't care about the no catch cracks because no catch cracks. Only thing we care about them is they got the cup. And if I guess if you're gonna keep the cup, I mean it's gonna be a part of NXT. I guess, but nobody cares about Damon Kemp because he looked like ass in this match. Everybody else looked good. Tony D, we know he can wrestle. Stacks, we know he can wrestle. And the lawyer, I ain't mad at that cracker. He coming along. Coming along quicker than Damon Kemp. And it's trash ass. The white man with the lisp, sure, he cooking. We know William Regal's son. He cooking. Damon Kemp, I don't give a fuck about that cracker. He trash his ass. Get this nigga the fuck out of here. Don't nobody care about it. And then after that, we had Fallon and Jada Parker.
Yes.
You know. If Fallon or Jada Parker gave me a chance, I'd pee in that butt. Oh yeah. I would be out there and drink 32 gallons of water and be like, oh yeah, right in that butt. For any of them. Was it a match good? Yeah, it was good. It was really good. These heifers can wrestle. We know Fallon can wrestle. She ain't got no character. Well, she has a character. She raises horses. She works at a bar. She likes country shit. Okay. And then Jada's better than the mud crackers. Because them niggas ain't doing shit. They ain't doing shit. And there's about to be some more niggas, some darkies. I don't know if Mangria took notes on them. But the darkies is about to come. And these niggas look like real niggas. And they look better than these light-skinned ass crackers who ain't doing shit. But the real niggas is coming. The real niggas. Hard R's better be watching out because some real niggas about to be coming up. I digress. Jada was looking good. She was using that ass in the corner. Apparently, Zoe Stark is mad that bitches use ass in the corner. Zoe Stark ain't got no ass. She flatter than Dakota Kai, who we call wall butt, but still looks good. Anyway, I digress. Jada look good. Fallon look good. Match held my attention. And then now this is just building to that new secondary women's title, which I ain't mad at, which NXT needs.
More to come on that. Sticks, the family versus the no catch cracks, and Jada versus Fallon.
Yeah, I thought this was a really good match for the family. We had been wondering what they were going to look like. We had talked about with the consigliere showing up. This would allow Tony D to be able to focus on a singles while Stacks and the consigliere could do tag team. I thought it was a really good six-man tag match. I thought the family looked really strong, showed potential for Stacks and the consigliere. We know what you can get with Tony D. I mean, he had a really good match against Dragon Zord. So, but it's nice when you can put all three guys together, having Riz outside to be that outside possible interference if needed. It was nice to have this happen every once in a while and to have them show that they can do this. No catch crackers. Like you guys said, I mean, fucking Dimps is, I mean, Charlie's good, but the one cracker that was with the Creeds, with the all that, I mean, he's still sloppy as shit. I mean, he's so green. I mean, this guy needs like 5 years on level up, and let's just go then bring him up and see what he looks like after that. I mean, the dude with the list, I mean, jury's still out on that. I mean, but I mean, I guess you got to give these guys something to do. This just shows keep them back, keep them back, keep them background, uh keep them on level up, and keep Willy Wonka, keep him with the cup, and keep him out there front center. Jada and Fallon. I think the theme that we've had so far this was that there has been a lot of showcases coming out, especially for the women's division. I thought Jada looked really good in this match. I thought she is showing the potential that she could be to be the, like Cesar said, secondary women's champion. Like after this match, I wouldn't have been mad that if later on in the night, if they announced like a battle royal or even like a ladder match for that championship, and if she was in that, like she showed potential with that. Fallon, we know what we're gonna give a Fallon. She's been a tag team champion. She's wrestled a lot of singles matches. She looks good. If we could get just consistent a consistent future for what her character is going to be, that's the only thing she's lacking. But outside that, in-ring work is good. Jada's in-ring work looked really good. I agree with Cesar. She's a shining spot out of those whole OTM guys. I mean, they're all kind of they're stuck in neutral. Like they got the big push, and then they've had a couple of matches. They didn't really look good in those matches, and then we haven't seen anything outside of them just showing up with Jada outside the ring or just in backstage segments. But outside that, Jada looks good, and the NXT Women's Division once again looks really good. They got a lot of up and coming talent coming up there, and they were showing out tonight on Tuesday night.
Just a side note, I hope Damon Kemp gets drafted to Level Up Elevation. That being said, we got a good visit from JD, the Big Strong Oi, and Stallion Pete. All give their 2 cents about Trick and Dragunov, which is the main event. All Teeth is in the ring. The NXT Underground contract signing between Natty and Lola. Carmen Petrovic in Natty's corner. Shayna Baszler and Lola's. Lola gyrated 50% of this segment. And of course, they all fight because that's what happens at a contract signing. The Beach Brawl with Sol Ruka versus Blair.
Damn Pope.
That's right. Just silliness as this match started, because I got a view of everything that was around this fucking ring. Easy paycheck tonight for the ladies, or so I thought. Surfboard, picnic bench, kiddie pool, beach ball, Soul surfing on Blair. Soul again has improved so much in the ring. I'm calling it again. Soul will be the first women's North American champion. No sleeping on Blair, though. She hit a great snap German off the turnbuckle. Soul backpack stunner through a picnic table outside. Soul snatch on a boogie board for the win. I'm all in on Sol Ruka. Trick on the phone in the locker room with his mama. Johnny Gargano approaches and has a pep talk with Trick. Sticks. We had the contract signing, Natty and Lola, and then the beach brawl. Soul versus Blair. He's asleep. Okay.
Yeah, the contract signing. I mean, we knew we were going to get a contract signing. Big surprise was that Shayna was going to be in Lola's corner. Like you said, gyrating about 50-75% of the time doing the contract signing. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. Get the eyes on the product and on this match. So, I mean, it's going to be good for Lola. She's going to be in there with a very, very seasoned vet, Natty. So there's no worries about it. I mean, Natty is pretty good in the ring, so it'll be a good thing for Lola. Sol Ruka and Blair. Once again, like we had talked about, another showcase match for Sol. I mean, we're not going to gloss over who Blair Davenport is or what she brings to the table. She's the ultimate professional. She's killed it in the UK. She's done nothing but kill it in NXT, so she's come over. I mean, why she hasn't been women's champion so far is beyond us. But I mean, this is a great match to have Blair in too, because this allows you to see that she is one of these standards in NXT, and to be able to allow you to see what you have in Soul so far. Soul showed up and showed out, man. I mean, like you said, uh, she's gotten leaps and bounds better than when we first saw her, which is what you ultimately hope with a lot of talent. Her picking up this dub against Blair is huge. I mean, this is something that is a performance that is like, okay, she's got it. Like, you can see her within 3 to 5 months contending for the NXT Women's Championship with a performance like this. So all in all, great match for Soul. And as much as we hate to see Blair collecting L's, she got TV time and she still looked great. So maybe as we're recording this, I don't know, maybe she gets called up. Maybe she gets drafted somewhere. Wouldn't be mad. It'd be something different. Allow her to throw her hat in the ring for one of the women's championship titles. Wouldn't be mad at it. So all in all, great match for Soul, and another great performance for Blair Davenport.
It is fun to see the rise of Sol Ruca. Cesar, we had the contract signing Natty and Lola, and then the beach brawl with Sol and Blair.
Yeah, don't nobody care about that contract signing, man. Don't nobody care about that bullshit. Natty came out there with that white bitch, and you know they chopping it up, and then Lola Vice came out there throwing her ass with Shayna Blazer, and they signed the contract. Okay. Now Sol Ruca. So Ruca got that talent that can go far in NXT. Like you said, Sangria, she could be the next bitch to win that North American Championship. Would I be mad at it? No, sir. No, sir. She should be one of the ones in contention to win that title and defend it and whatnot. And I wouldn't be mad at it. And then she fought Blair Davenport. Blair Davenport, the woman after Rhea and Toni Storm left NXT, you get one of the women who stepped up besides the real final boss. One of the ones who stepped up and had that NXT Women's Championship. UK Championship. And represented it well. To me, Blair Davenport, I haven't watched anything on Raw tonight, but she should be called up to the show on one of the shows tonight. She should be called up. I don't know who's got called up tonight. I haven't watched anything. But Blair Davenport should be called up to Raw or SmackDown to be in the women's, contention on Raw or SmackDown to be in the main roster. To me, she's got everything you need. She's got great heel work. She's got great in-ring ability. She's got a great finisher. You can market anything on Blair Davenport. It's super great. I ain't mad at it. But yeah, her and Sol Ruca cooked. It was really great. Sol Ruca approved. She doesn't need the corner to hit the Snow Snatcher. She can hit it on the ropes. She can hit it anywhere. That's what you want on a great high profile finisher like that. And yeah, Sol Ruca, great talent to have. I thought it was a good match. And then she said Blair put her out, so she gets the dub on Blair. I ain't mad at it. Good shit.
Comeuppance has been achieved. Crispy King versus Corbin. Book says Crispy going to the moon. Poorly timed there, Book, because of what happened to Cameron Grimes.
Oh, yeah.
Big ups to Mr. Grimes. Crowd cheering for Corbin still. That's weird. Vic and Book shouting at each other over giving Crispy props. Laugh out loud funny here. Here, Book, you need some candy. Corbin suplex cutter. Give him props, Vic. Give him props. Crispy trying to use ropes for leverage. Ref catches him, but doesn't catch the low blow. Crispy for the win. Why are you touching me? Book is touching Vic's arm. He kicked him into Richard. Fucking Vic. And then the main event match was for the NXT Championship. It was Dragunov versus Trick. Damian Priest tells the champ good luck, then put some game on Not Kenzie. Tell him, Book. Yeah. Uh-huh. I like it.
Oh yeah, man.
There you go. There is only 8 minutes left for this main event. The ring announcer, Alicia, looking like Sideshow Black with that hairdo. I'm digging it. Fast-paced, hard-hitting. These two brought it. Dapping, hugging. This is fire, man. Dragunov tried sunset flip bomb off turnbuckle, but Trick just sat on him. Coast to coasting, trying to make up for that. They trying to fit in a lot in a little bit of time and botching. Trick H-bomb and a torpedo Moscow to Dragunov gets a 2 count. This is awesome chance. Fight to the table. Book hightailing it out of there. Trick bookends Dragunov through the table. H-bomb from Dragunov to Trick. Hits super H-bomb. Trick stays alive with 2.5 Caesar. Another super H-bomb, but he hurt his wrist. Trick knee gets a 2 7/8. So nice. Does it twice for the pin and the win. And new NXT champion, Trick Willie. Dragunov hands it over himself. Shuck it, duck it, quack, quack. Worthy main event. Dragunov getting drafted to Raw for sure now, right? I don't know.
Oh, it gotta be.
But that's all it is.
And that's all it's gonna be.
That's right, Caesar. We had Crispy King versus Corbin, and then Dragunov versus Trick. What'd you think?
Yeah, you know what? Crispy came out in that chair like we needed him to come out in that chair, sliding his bitch ass out. And what does he do? He wrestles a good match. He steals the dub like we expect Crispy to do. And it was good times. It was good times. Nobody's mad about it. Nobody's mad about it because it's Crispy. And even Corbin said earlier in the interview when Crispy handed him the basket, he's like, I think that guy's beard is fake. It may be fake, but it's crispy as fuck. With the cut whiz. It's crispy as fuck. It's crispy. And yeah, that's what Crispy needed to do. Get a big win over get a win over a big time competitor with a good match. And then yeah, we had old Trick Willie. Right before they announced in the draft that champions won't move. Trick Willie versus Dragunov. Do I like Trick Willie? Yeah. Did the tripod like Trick Willie? Yeah. Do I think he should have been champ? Nah. I still think if they're really going to give it to somebody, they could have gave it to Tony D. If they were going to give it to somebody and have Ilya get caught up, Tony D's been there a while. He's known. I think they didn't give it to Tony D because he's more prone to injury. The Dolph Ziggler treatment, that in big matches he can be injured and then he doesn't get the full respect. But Trick Willie to me is still not quite all the way there. Does he have the crowd behind him? Yeah. Does he have the promos? Yeah. Does he have the ring work? Nah. But they want to go with Trick Willie. I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it. They want to do what they got to do. Nigga Champs is hot right now. We got nigga Champs all over. We got Most. You know what I'm saying? We got Swerve and A-Dub. We got Swerve. And we got Cody Rhodes. You damn right. Nigga Champ, Cody Rhodes. You know what I'm saying? Married to a black woman. Daughter is one half Jigaboo. If you know the Hito Cody Rhodes song, you know that shit. We all sing it. We all know it. One half Jigaboo. Anyway, I digress.
We had Crispy King versus Baron Corbin, which was Corbin's swan song at NXT. And then we had the main event, old Trick Willie going for the gold against the Mad Dragon, Dragunov. What'd you think of the closing segments of NXT?
Yeah, like Cesar said, Crispy, we got what we needed from. Got the chair entrance. He stole the dub. But you need. I feel like with Corbin, they achieved what they wanted. They brought him down. They polished him back up. The crowd was behind him, putting him with Braun. With Braun Breaker, not only elevated Corbin, but it also elevated Braun. Like, it got the crowd behind both guys. When you can do something like that, you achieved what you wanted, and it will help both guys' careers. Now, hopefully that continues to follow them, with Corbin going to SmackDown, with Braun going to Raw, with Crispy. Just keep the chair and keep him stealing dubs. That's what you need to do. Build him up as a heel. You're gonna do it well. Dragonzord and Trick. It was a good match. Like you said, they had to fit a lot in a short amount of time. So there was a lot of bobbles. I don't like it when you have to do something like that. Like, you should plan your show out accordingly to your championship matches. Like, if you got to cut something short, that's something else, like a segment or maybe like a smaller match, you do it that way. But NXT, they're trying to get everybody proper TV time, trying to get everybody shine. You do something like that, you're going to run short on time. I agree with Cesar. Is it too early for Trick to be champ? Yeah, a little bit. I would have. I agree. We've talked about it, like Dragonzord. He's seasoned enough that if you keep him down there, I don't want to say you're wasting his talent, but you would have missed out on having him get drafted. But of course, there's other ways around doing that. You could have just had it so that he shows up and then he got signed. I can kind of see why they put the championship on Trick. You had the draft there, but also with the impending channel switch for NXT from USA to the CW, you have a guy who you can put out on the red carpet for something like this with Trick. Very photogenic. He's great on the mic. His in-ring work is getting there. He hasn't done anything that's been horrible that has diminished his in-ring work. You see that there still needs a little bit of work, but outside of that, he's gold. He's packaged. He's everything. He's everything you want to be with a guy who is your champion. So I can see why they pull the trigger on that. Hopefully, since he's very well liked, he's one of the Tripod's favorites, he does nothing but get better. Like, hopefully within this time next year, we're seeing him get drafted to SmackDown as being like possibly a first round pick. Hopefully he's well polished and ready to go, because everything he's got everything else. It's just that the in-ring work's got to get there. But I have a feeling it's going to get there. I wouldn't be surprised by November or December. He's looking, smelling, sounding like $1 million. I think he's there. It's just that he's going to take we're going to go through some lumps with him as being champion while developing him. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's what essentially kind of what NXT is for. You still get a little bit of TV crowd, and it allows you to get that seasoning kind of on the fly. So, but all in all, great segments, and a great way for NXT to wrap it up.
And we're waiting for Spring Break-In Night 2. We will be talking about next week. But first, it's Wednesday night. And you know what that means. It's the highlight version of Dynatrash, because there weren't a lot of highlights. So besides the obvious talking point of the week that happened, I'm going to take something nobody was going to talk about, and I will talk about it because I appreciate it. So at Dynasty, we saw Jericho take on Hook and become FTW champion. Nobody liked it. Everyone hated it. And then Jericho comes out with a new song, I'm the learning tree. And I was like, he knows people are going to shit on this. And then I was thinking of his cheesy ass smiling and thanking everybody, like in denial of people hating him. I was like, this old motherfucker, he got me. He knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. Jericho is doing what he does best and leaning into the hate and becoming a heel again, a great heel, because Jericho being a heel and rebuilding a group. I mean, that's the rough draft of Jericho's success in AEW. And he's doing it yet again. He comes to the ring with this horrible new music. He goes on about Hook cutting the dead weight, including Taz's name again. Big Billy comes out and wants to be under the learning tree. Jericho will think about it. Now I'm looking forward to seeing heel Jericho in a heel group doing what he knows. Because when he's doing this shit, like the inner circle, when all that shit was happening, I was entertained. So now that he's leaning into the hate, he acknowledges the hate. He's playing it off like he's not hated. I think it's going to be entertaining. But gentlemen, do either of you, well, Sticks, you're awake. Do you have any thoughts on this Jericho segment?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Jericho, one of the things that we've talked about Chris Jericho is how he's been able to reinvent himself. Now we're gonna see, are they gonna allow him to take a group of people? Like obviously, it's gonna start with Big Bill. I mean, we kind of saw that. I think it was on Saturday. Big Bill. It was either Saturday or yeah, it was Saturday, but it was either Rampage or Collision. Big Bill had a match. Throughout the match, Big Bill was barking at the camera. Jericho, you watching? Chris, are you watching? Watch this. If they allow Jericho to take a group of people that aren't being used, because I mean, Big Bill's a former tag team champion. I'm believing Ricky might be hurt or he's just doesn't have. They don't have anything for him, so you need to have something for Big Bill. Having him with Jericho to be that big enforcer role for the potential upcoming group, it's not a bad thing at all. You get Big Bill some TV time, but you also get him to learn under the learning tree to pick up some stuff. Jericho passing on some wisdom to him. It's going to do nothing but help improve him. So no, I'm here for it, and I can't wait to see where it goes.
Cesar, any thoughts at all about Jericho rebooting his heel group that's soon to follow?
Nobody give a fuck about Jericho. We all hate Jericho. Yeah, he's the learning tree now. Big Bill wants to learn from him. Yeah.
What was your highlight of Dynatrash, Cesar? It's got to be the most glaringly obvious one, I'm guessing.
If you're talking about Tony Storm,
No.
and yeah, it was Tony Storm of Dynatrash this week on Wednesday. Yeah, it was Tony Storm. Tony Storm coming out there after the Mariah May match, and Serena Deeb coming back. Another good wrestler to the women's division. Serena Deeb brings back good women's wrestling.
Legitimate
Women's wrestling to that shit division. Because Tony don't know how to book that shit. We all know. Tony don't know how to book that shit. Yeah. The great part of was the after the main event. We all know. Jungle Jack, the Meltzer driver. Yeah, that was the best part of Wednesday. But Tony coming out and the screen going black and white as it always does. Whoever's doing that, you're cooking. You're cooking on the lighting display. She came out, she dropped the shoes, came out after the match, with Anna Jay. Anna Jay has been getting mad screen time. The only performer who I've heard has showed up in all of the shows in 1 week. She showed up in Dynatrash, she showed up in Collision, she showed up in Ram Trash, and ROH.
Getting that money.
Yeah, as she should. They're actually finally, after 3 years, actually building her up. I don't know what it took. But whatever. But Serena Deeb coming back, good. I'm not mad at that. And then Tony getting his ass whooped was super good for me. Got me locked in. And then the dumb nigga showed up at the NFL draft the next day with a neck brace, but still continued to be like, huh? What?
Yeah.
What's going on? Hey, Dad.
Drinking his drink, no problem.
Yeah, Dad, what are we doing while I'm wearing this neck brace? Hey, Dad, what are we doing? Nigga, if you got a neck brace, why are you doing this? Pat McAfee cooking you on TV.
Then they proceeded to go on and gave him an opportunity to get interviewed, and not only did he try to think he was going to bury WWE, but he just essentially buried himself in his own freaking company.
Yeah.
It was sad, and that was like the main part of us wrestling fans paid attention to.
Of course.
Tony Skeets acting like a fucking dweeb, as per usual.
But
Six, do you have any thoughts about Serena Deeb returning, or the main event with Tony Skeets getting Meltzer drivered, or what was your highlight of this week's Dynamite?
Serena Deeb, I'm happy for her. She's a seasoned vet. Since she's come back, they're building her back up. Her and Timeless Tony, I think it'll be a good match. I mean, both these girls can go. Both are very well seasoned. This is what you should be doing. You should have your seasoned vets go out there and show the rest of the women's division, hey, this is what women's wrestling is. This is what you need to be doing. So I'm not mad at it. It gives Serena something to do, and it kind of plays in the storyline with Tony when she came to Mariah's aid. It showed that she cares about Mariah maybe a little bit more than that championship. I don't know, because a lot of champions wouldn't have dropped the championship right there while running the ring. They would have brought it with them, but I digress. I mean, it'll be a good match when they have it, and I'm not going to be disappointed. The whole thing with Tony Skeets and the new Elite, which just happens to somehow happen before Kenny Omega is going to show up on Dyna Trash this Wednesday.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see where it goes. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I always like to kind of see where things go. For a guy that had came out and said that he wasn't going to force himself on TV like another owner and figure in wrestling had done before, guy seems to be on TV for way too much for my liking. So, oh no. Hey, we got what we wanted to see. Tony Ski's got rabbit punched in the gut and got TK drivered. Hey, awesome. The thing I thought I was looking forward to and I was intrigued about, we got to see where Chucky T stood. Was he going to be up Trent, or was he going to side of OC? A little part of me wanted him to go of Trent. I wanted to see where we would get the heel best friends, but it played out like how I thought it was.
Well, that's kind of Ramtrash and Collision, which we can get to.
We got the decision. I'm not talking about the match yet. We had the decision on Wednesday. I wanted to see where it legit was. I legit wanted to get a heel best friends because you know they've been getting shit on ever since they showed up. Like these guys, like we have talked about, they should have been by this time now. Like they should have been at least multi-time AEW tag team champions. But it seems like they push them just to either like the championship match or the match before the championship, and they shit on them and have them lose to like two singles guys that have just formed a tag team in the last month. Like this. I'm happy the boys got on TV, but this is something that when it happened, you should have had the accolades of these guys were two-time former champions. I mean, but I also would have liked to see heel best friends. I would have liked to see them attack OC. Then maybe OC would have brought somebody that's sitting back in catering to tag with him. But I mean, I digress.
So after Dyna Trash was off the air, I thought my all elite note taking was done for the
hell no, bitch.
But to my surprise, I check our chats, and old Caesar actually watched the next two shows. Said, "Hey, Sangria,
Hey.
you need to check these out." And I was like,
Mhm.
"For Caesar, I mean, if you're a loyal pretzel and you know how we talk about AEW, ATW, which
Mhm.
Caesar coined, if he said it, I gotta fucking watch this shit." So I did. So I pulled up 3 matches, and I'm gonna read all the notes from those three, so we can be done.
No, I just want to let you know, I watched these live with the commercials.
Wow.
I had time this week. I had time. I watched all my wrestling live this week. I watched NXT on
Yeah.
Tuesday. I watched Dyna Trash Wednesday. And when I was all right, maybe not live for these next two, but I watched them back to back because one of them showed late because of the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
And then I watched it late. And then the next match was live. The match I texted you to watch, Sangria, was they both showed on Saturday. They both showed on the same
Yeah.
day,
Back
not
to
Friday,
back.
Saturday. They both showed on the same day.
Yeah.
So when I watched the next match on Sunday, when I watched it on Sunday morning, and I hit you up, and I said, "Nah, bitch, this was the phrase you're gonna say probably. You need to watch this shit." That was the first match. I was like, hot.
Well, that being said, I'm going to read the notes in the order that I watched them in because I looked them up on YouTube because I didn't DVR either because I was like, but caught them on YouTube, and Ram Trash was up first. It was Trent versus old Chuck T in a parking lot brawl.
Oh yeah.
Is this their fucking specialty? Like they love the parking lot brawls. They
Yeah,
fought proud and powerful. Like their motherfuckers are in the parking lot more than the people more than Blair Davenport in the
yeah.
fucking
Mobley
NXT parking
Dabo.
lot.
Yo, the best
Uh,
friends own the parking lot.
Chucky bleeding, Trent bleeding. Chuck with the dustpan, who puzzled one of the commentators. I think it was Squarehead. It was,
Yeah.
what is that? Uh, Chuck tossed onto a pile of light tubes. Chuck tossed Trent onto the windshield. Real glass, folks.
Real glass.
Trent pile drives Chuck on roof of car, chokes his ass out and wins. Attacks Chuck's ankle with a wrench. Orange Cassidy and Buttlander come out. And then smash cut to Don Callis getting his pussy wet, watching and thinking and plotting. But yes, I mean, this parking lot brawl, bloody as AEW does. But like we always say on the tripod, if you're best friends, you're gonna fuck each other up because you trust each other. And that's exactly what these gentlemen did. On Collision, it was old Swerve, AEW champion, versus Claude defending that championship. Claude tosses Swerve up on stage by the commentators. Swerve leaps off stage, barely connects. Swerve with a not great 450. Swerve withstands a sharpshooter and a crossface from Claude, and that's his thing. He loves the fucking submissions and the big swings, which he did that as well. This is a great showing of toughness from the champ. Swerve tried to stomp and landed on a standing Claude, who reversed it into a European uppercut, which visually looked good, but I don't know if it connected. But visually, the camera work was
Great
excellent.
spot. Great spot. Did not execute well.
Claude attempts a pop-up European uppercut, but take two, Swerve lands the stomp this time while balancing on Claude's shoulders. Claude was standing, folks, and he fucking did the Swerve stomp. And then a house call kick for the retain. You were correct. This was a banger. Of course, these two guys can work. They're great. Claude,
What was it? Come on, Sanger. What was it? What
that
was
was
it?
some free money Saturday, folks. Definitely go back and check that shit out. And then, of course, gotta get me some butt meat buffet. As Timeless Tony Storm versus Anna. Whoa.
Whoa.
Tony indeed clapping Anna's cheeks. Excellent butt meat match. Tony wins with the Storm Zero. I mean, the character work in this incredible. And like Cesar said, Anna Jay getting that money. She getting that exposure. I'm guessing that Jungle Jack was like, "Hey, I'll come back if Anna gets a push, motherfucker." And they're like, "All right, yeah, okay, whatever." But those were the 3 matches that were recommended. I watched all 3. Caesar, go on and tell us what you thought about the parking lot brawl, Swerve versus Claude, and the butt meat buffet.
So they were hyping it up on both shows since both shows did show back to back. They were both on Friday. They weren't one wasn't on Friday, one wasn't on Saturday. They were both on Friday. I think no, or they were both on Saturday. Whatever the case may be. Because Swerve came out at the start of the show and he was talking about, that's when he gave his, his championship talk about winning the title, in which I'm still like, and Swerve didn't talk about, I did bad things. I was like, and I had to look it up myself. I had to go into the books. I was like, you were just kidnapping a baby on February. It's April. Like, why are you trying to have open challenges, nigga? You was just kidnapping a baby 2 months ago.
You kidnapped a baby and was drinking blood.
And drinking blood. Like 2 months ago, like 2 matches ago. And now I'm whatever. You know what? I don't come to AEW for stories. I don't come here for that. But Swerve out there, Prince Nana. He out there doing a dance. I'm hyped. Top rope, catch a vibe. I swerve when I drive. I swerve when I'm good. He said he was having an open challenge. And that man Claudio walked his white ass out in that pimp ass suit. He was suited and booted like he always is. Pimped ass suit, walked out and said he wanted to smoke. As if it was Friday night and the Street Profits was holding the cup. I said, okay. Now to me, I don't watch ATW for the stories. I really don't even watch ATW. And they say this is where the best wrestles. And then I saw Claudio versus Swerve. I didn't even give a shit if the title was on the line or not. I said, you know what? I'm going to watch this trash to see how it is. And did it cook? Oh, girl, this shit cooked like a YouTube video. If you watch Gordon Ramsay talking about how to make fucking beef Wellington, this shit cooked. Okay? Yeah, Claudio out there, Swerve out there, they throwing chops, they throwing European uppercuts, they throwing suplexes, they throwing corner moves. The fucking Swerve jumped off the top. This is how good it was. He jumped off the top. Sangria told you, but he jumped off the top, and Claudio caught him on his shoulders, and then pushed him off and hit him with the European uppercut. Was it clean? It wasn't really too clean, but it was like 22 minutes into the match, so I understand it. Right? But was the spot great? Hell yeah. Claudio hit that cracker with the spin. And then while he was spinning, like halfway through, he picked up the speed. And you know why this match was really cooking? Because it was fucking Nigel McGuinness on the commentary with Tony Schiavone. And Nigel told him, Tony, I think Claudio's picking up speed. Swinging that nigga around. You know what I'm saying? Like a pork chop on a Rottweiler out in the ghetto. Shit was cooking. This match was really, really good. And yeah, Swerve hit him with the Swerve stomp on the shoulders. Second time, hit him on the shoulders. But like this whole match.
Trapeziuses. Hit him with on the trapeziuses.
Yes. But this whole match from start to finish. This is why this was like I know Sangria, you didn't get to watch it earlier, probably when me and Six was watching. This was like NXT Claudio before he went to the main show. This was NXT Cesaro. When they talk about Cesaro's best matches, like 8 of them are in NXT. before he went to the main show. And he still cooked on the main show. This was NXT Cesaro versus like NXT Swerve. Swerve cooked on NXT. We all know Swerve cooked on NXT. And look, Vince was in charge when he went up, and Vince shit the bed. And this is why some of these guys look. I'm sorry to say this. Some of these guys, yeah, they had to go to other productions. But if they went back when Trips is cooking now, if they wait their turn and come back when Trips is cooking now, they'll be great again. But oh my god, for some random TBS late night Friday night match, ooh, this match cooked. Damn, Cesaro was on his shit. Claudio was on his shit. Swerve was on his shit. Swerve got the title. I'm not mad Swerve got a title. I'm not mad Swerve got a title. But just be that nigga who was still kidnapping babies 2 months ago. Don't try to be like the respectable nigga that you are now. You ain't respectable. You's a nigga. You ain't black folk. You ain't black folk. Black folk is respectable. You's a nigga. Be a nigga. But did this match cook? Hell yeah. And he hit him, try to hit him with that sharpshooter. Swerve hit him with the house call after the Swerve stomp. And I see a lot of shit online that people are like, he should get the 1, 2, 3 for the Swerve stomp off the top. I get it. It's like when Ilya hits the H bomb from the top. You should save the kick out for like a pay-per-view or a major opponent. But like when Ilya hits the H bomb from the top, you should get pinned. And he's pinned quite a few people with it, like Carmelo and them. And Swerve did it off the shoulders, and maybe he should have got the pin, but the way Claudio was cooking in that match, god damn, it was so good. And then he had to hit the house call to get the pin. And then the handshake. I don't need the handshake at the end because Swerve shouldn't be that guy.
I'm surprised he did it. I'm surprised Claudio.
Yeah. But I think Swerve knew from where because they fought on the crowd on Daly's Place on that that one part where it's like the crowd is right there on the upper level kind of thing. They fought all over the place. They fought outside. They did a lot of great spots in that match. And I think Swerve knew that match cooked. And he's got to be like, yeah, I had that match on Dynamite, blah, blah, blah. But this was like a real, like that guy, that was like a, what they call it, eliminator match. And was the match good? Sure, because the match was good because Swerve was good. But I think Swerve really knew, like, god damn. And that's why, like, I think Claudio was like, yo, motherfucker, come with that shit like you came with it tonight in every match.
This match should have been on Wednesday. This match should have been on Wednesday because I think having this on a Saturday, I think it hurt it because I think a lot of people have watched ATW on Saturdays and it's been shit.
Yeah,
this match on a Saturday, having it on Saturday hindered it. This match was on Wednesday. Whoo, shit! This would have got a lot of eyeballs.
Well, I think what they did in this match was like, I'm sorry, this was a pay-per-view match that they had on a bullshit Saturday that probably nobody was watching. And that's why I wrote it in the chat. And I was like, yo, Sangria, I hate to say it, but I gotta call a free money match when I see a free money match. And for Saturday, fuck it, even for Wednesday, if they would have had this match Wednesday, I still would have told your ass this was a free money match. Those boys went out there and cooked for the 20 minutes that they had. They gave you free money. This was a pay-per-view match that they had on a free television regular shit of the week. And yes, I did like Tony Storm and Anna Jay because I like Tony Storm and Anna Jay, and that shit was butt meat buffet. But no other match AEW had this week compared to that match. That match was really good. That match, if I gotta, yeah, if we gonna take pay-per-view shit, that match was the beer cheese of the week to me. Even if I include NXT, I think that match was better than anything NXT put on this week as well. Because those are two guys who know how to wrestle, and know how to put on and match for the crowd. And Daly's Place got that shit for free.
What stood out from the parking lot brawl to you?
Oh, the parking lot brawl was really good too, man. The pile drivers and the DDTs on the cars, you know, the fucking Trent getting thrown into the windshield. Like you said, Trent was bleeding extremely profusely. So Trent was bleeding early. No. Sorry. Chuck E. T was bleeding early.
Yeah.
Trent was bleeding, and then Trent was bleeding profusely. I don't know when he was bleeding profusely because I didn't see like how that pulled into the match. And I understand Chuck E. T hit him with the little mini snow shovel thing, the small snow shovel. But I don't think he should have been bleeding like extra crazy from that. But I did like the spot at the end where he pinned him on top of the car, and then his leg, which is what shouldn't have been healed, and he wrapped twice, and then he hit the glass with the crowbar to emphasis it. You know what I'm saying? To really hype it up. And I think that's what's going to lead to Trent and Orange Cassidy at All In or Double or Nothing, which is going to be what, later in May this week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is going to lead to Double or Nothing. So I think that's a good see. When you have guys who fucking know how to wrestle each other, that's what's going to lead into good story for that match. You're building it now with two other guys, which is going to lead into that match, which will be good. Which I think will be really, really great. The parking lot brawl was, it was great. Like those guys know how to have a parking lot brawl. They were saying it in the match. Like those guys have been together, 15 years as a tag team. So they know each other's moves. They're friends in real life. And yeah, like I said, it's like I don't know if we talked about last week with the Johnny wrestling and the Tyra Valkyrie, but when you're best friends, it's an unwritten rule that you can go harder on each other in a match because you trust each other more. Because I know how you wrestle, I know how you wrestle, so we can go extra hard on the punches, the grabs, the slams, and if we're having a hardcore match with the hits, because you know what I can take, I know what you can take, and we can have a better match. And these guys have known each other for 15 years, so they know how to have a better match.
After all of this talk, Cesar said, I'm very curious to know if he's going to be checking out Rampage and Collision this week.
Yeah. You know what? It was just weird. It just happened to be that I opened on Friday and Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I happen to get the good shifts this week. Like I got off Tuesday. I had to work last Tuesday, so I got off at 8. So I came home and like it was 8:30. So I watched NXT because I don't like to watch with the commercials. I happened to watch NXT, and it was like, all right, well, commercials are gone, so I watched it. Wednesday, I got home at like 7:45. By the time I ate dinner, it was 8:15, 8:30. So I watched ATW, and then like Friday and shit, I was hanging out with some friends, and I got home at 9. So I just put on, I was like, oh well, it's not on. And then I watched everything like Collision and Rampage. I was like, let me just watch it this week. I just might, Sangria. You don't know, man. I might find a gym. Look, that Swerve. I knew Swerve was wrestling. I just knew Swerve was wrestling because they were like, Swerve is going to have a talking point And I
Yeah.
was like, well, obviously he's having a talking point. If he's trying to be real face, he's gonna have a match. Because he didn't have a match Wednesday. He just fought the dude from Don Callis shit. I was like, all right, let me actually watch Rampage and Collision. And I was like, oh, what's that for the match? And then Claudio came out. I was like, oh, 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 I gotta watch this. And when I watched Rampage, I was like, oh, they're having a parking lot brawl. And then Trent said, yo, we fighting on Collision. I was like, God damn it, I gotta watch that because I knew his best friends. So it's ATW on Wednesday. They are dictating whether I will watch on the weekend, but I gotta watch my man Nigel McGuinness because he's always cooking. He's always cooking. But I mean, if they have matches like this, if they have matches like Swerve Claudio on the weekend, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna watch.
Well, time will tell, ladies and gentlemen. Sticks. We have 3 matches that were all elite, according to Caesar. We had the parking lot brawl. We had Swerve versus Claude and Timeless versus Anna. Whoa, what'd you think?
Yeah, it's a little peek behind the curtain of my viewing things. I'll watch AGW Rampage and Collision. Usually it won't happen until like early Sunday morning. So, but when Caesar jumped in the chat and was like, "Hey, this stuff cooked," accelerated, man. I was like, I gotta watch this. Yeah, Swerve and Claudio. Caesar said it all. I mean, this was a great match. We've seen both guys in NXT. We've known how great these guys are, ultimate professionals. But when you get these guys together in a match, it was great. You sprinkle in Nigel McGuinness, throwing a little bit of barbs here and there on Brian Danielson, talking about how Claudio was a better man than him, and how just throwing those in there was great. Like Cesar said, the Swerve stomps. I see the thing I like with Swerve is that you need to give him other finishers. Like we had known he'd been using the JML drive. Well, going against Joe, unless this man is like fucking Wesley Snipes' blade, he wasn't gonna pick Samoa Joe up to hit that fucking JML driver. There's no way. So it was gonna have to be a swerve stomp. Yeah, it took a couple of swerve stomps. He did it. He hit a couple of swerve stomps on Claudio, wasn't even put away. I like him being able to be able to use the house call, because the house call kick is just great on its own. To be able to say that could be a finisher is great. When you give a guy
that is his actual finisher. He doesn't have like a submission finisher, which I think he needs a submission finisher.
I think being able to say that this guy has 3 different moves that he could use to finish a guy, to cook a guy, makes him that much more dangerous. Like Cesar just said, if this guy can get a submission as a finisher too, whew, this man's going to be able to hit you with anything. You ain't going to know what he's going to be able to use. I mean, as a legit competitor, you're going to have to train and prep yourself for like 4 different finishers. And as a competitor, that's a lot of shit that's a lot of extra work you got to put in to be able to do that on top of facing a champion. This match cooked. I mean, this match, like I said, I think this match was hurt that they had it on a Saturday. I think it was after the playoffs. Like a lot of people, like it was just put this way: if you watched playoff basketball and you left this on TV, it's because you were basically probably just tapped out and you're like, I don't want to flip the station. So you threw it on there and you got something like this. Maybe it turned you on to that. Outside of that, this should have been on a Wednesday. This would have been the thing that Tony Khan and his neck brace could have fired off on his Twitter machine to say, hey, oh my God, did you see this? Before I got my ass kicked, Claudio and Swerve cooked. This is where the best come to wrestle. This is why Swerve's our champion. This is why Claudio came here, blah, blah, blah. This was a great, great match that I thought they should have gone by having it on a Saturday. Like this should have been, like you probably should have had that Tony Khan getting his ass kicked shit on Saturday, and this should have been the main event. But I digress. Parking lot brawl, great match. I just talked about where I was looking for to see where Chuck was going. Would he side with heel Trent? Shit, maybe now that after they had talked about in the match, I think it was Nigel that said that Chuck wasn't cleared, but this wasn't a wrestling match. This was a fight. So he got that shit wrapped up extra tight and was gonna fight. Trent hit using a wrench to hit his foot, his ankle foot through a window. Maybe I'm just throwing this out there. We get OC and Trent at Double or Nothing. Maybe this is what pushes Chuck to side with Trent to become heels. Maybe Chuck is like, hey, I went out there and defended your honor. Yeah, I told you don't come out and help me. Like they showed it. But this guy almost damn near broke my ankle, my foot. I went out there doing that because I chose you, and this is what I get. I've been with Chuck for like 10, 15 years, and I haven't had anything happen to me like this. So maybe I should side with you because there's been nothing but issues and problems with you where I've been with Trent, and we haven't had any issues. So maybe this is what pushes him as a heel.
My only caveat to that is that Trent has Rocky Marrero, and they are Roppongi Vice, and I can see them being heels with Chucky T and OC still being face, and honestly fighting them in a tag match like OC and Chucky versus Roppongi Vice, and OC and Chucky can still call themselves best friends. That's the only caveat I have. If it wasn't for Rocky Romero, I'm totally with you, like what you said. Because you're
see,
like,
here's
yeah,
my
my ankle is fucked up. And
Rocky shows up like almost like once a quarter and has a match.
Because he's New Japan. Because he's New Japan.
Exactly. And he's just got like more on his plate of New Japan because I think he's like he's either like an executive vice president now or he's like a vice president over. So he's not going to be on there as much, which I agree with you. That would be a great as like a one-off. But if you consistently are going to put these guys on TV, to have Chucky and Trent be like the heels to do this, that would be the kind of the way to go. I understand it. Maybe you bring Rocky at Forbidden Door, which is like a couple months away. Maybe you do that. Maybe you could build this towards that. Maybe you could do that. Maybe with the injury, the injury now of Chuck, you could do that, and that would be a great match to have at Forbidden Door, bringing Rocky over. But I mean, it does open up different options and stuff. The parking lot brawl was a great match. Like Cesar had said, like you had said, Mingria, the announcers even said it. There had been like a couple before, and both Chuck and Trent had been in them. That's great to have that call back. So that was a great match to have. And Tony and Anna Jay. Anna, outside of Julia Hart, has made leaps and bounds. Now, having read that Julia is injured and is either going to have surgery or off TV, having Anna Jay there too allows you to be able to put her on TV, which Cesar has said she's been on TV a lot this last couple of weeks, is a great thing to be able to have because this woman is improving, and having given her a spotlight match like this against the women's champion and her being able to hold her own allows you to be able to say, okay, we can call on her and not be disappointed. Like she's going to go out there and have a good match. So it was a good match for Tony to have the back history with Anna and Mariah when they were able to put the cameras on Mariah and the snarls, the facial looks that she was giving Anna. That was great to have too. This was great that they were able to have, that they had cooked for a little bit and they were able to call upon and have on this match.
So that being said, All Elite Wrestling, gentlemen, another shocking statement, had a way better week than old TNA Impact. We are going, oh shit.
They had a better weekend.
Damn. What was I saying? Something just happened.
A way better week than TNA. Yes.
Oh yeah, okay. I didn't really care about this episode of TNA Impact Sticks. I'm gonna let you give your highlight first from this past week in TNA Impact.
Made some matches. We had Nick Nemeth, Eddie Edwards. Good match. Obviously they had Nick's brother, Ryan, who was still there. Kind of a little bit of distraction with Eddie, and the system were kind of goating him on. The announcers had talked about he was there as a special guest at TNA. So when Ryan tried to get in there, caused a little bit of a fracas, security had to remove him. Kind of distracted the ref a little bit, allowed the system to be able to help Eddie. Eddie was able to hit the Boston Knee Party, picked up the dub. I think they had already made the match that Under Siege is going to be the system versus Speedball Mountain and Nick Nemeth. Not mad at it. I mean, it's a TNA Plus pay-per-view, so you're not going to throw like your greatest matches on it, but it's still going to be a good match. And the other thing I had to talk about, Sami Callihan 2-on-1 against the Good Hands. Sammy showed up, showed out, still showing why he is the Callahan Death Machine. He's able to pick up the dub against the Good Hands. So, outside that, and our boy Joe Hendry supposedly gonna issue a public apology next week. So, all in all, that's all I had for my highlights from this Thursday.
Cesar, your highlights from this past week's TNA.
You know what I like that they do in TNA? When two guys come to the ring and talk shit, I'm talking about the king of TNA, and I'm talking about the walking weapon. The walking weapon came to the ring. He's like, all right, fine. I put that big cracker behind me. I'm gonna talk about Sean Nixon. He's like, I'm gonna focus myself on being world champion again. The king of TNA came out. They'd be like, hold on, bitch. No. I beat an OG. I put him away. I'm up for the fact that they didn't go back and get the gear. The fact that somebody came out and was like, no. Lizard.
Santino.
Yeah, Santino. Yeah. Said the match is happening right now. And they literally threw off the coats. It was tank tops and jeans versus like a tracksuit. My man was in a powder blue, cool ass tracksuit and threw off the jacket after a while. And they had I like how when they're like, yeah, and I like how they're like how my man Alexander was like, you know what? I don't need to go get my gear. I'll fight your bitch ass right now. We in the ring. Yo, let's mix it up. And then like, the heel, usually the chicken shit heel, it tries to pull it off. And then the guy comes out and he's like, yo, Santino said, no, we're gonna have this match right now. And Eddie, the king of TNA, just threw his jacket off and attacked Josh Alexander. And then they did have the match. I like that more often. You know what I'm saying? Because usually you get that in the beginning of a show, and then that's like the main event wrestle of the show. But the fact that they did this in the middle, and the person was like, yo, no, y'all can fight. There's a ref. I got a ref. I sent the dude out. Yeah, there's a ref right there. Y'all can fight. And that they actually fought in the street clothes and cooked.
Yeah, Alexander tank top, track pants, and some Air Jordans.
And some Jordans with a powder blue jacket, tracksuit. And Eddie Kingston came up with that feathery ass jacket, some jeans, and he had a tank top on. And then they literally had a match. I like that, man. That feels more. It's not street, but it feels more real to me than when people talk about having a match and like the heel tries to deny it, but the but the person comes out who is the commissioner and says, "No, y'all can have a match," and then they just fought in those clothes. Like you didn't have to get dressed. They were both really comfortable. Eddie was fighting in the King was fighting in just some looser. They all got their shit in too, and it was a really good match that they didn't have to put their wrestling gear on. And I get it. I'm kind of saying that with Cody and Carmelo that happened last Friday. But Cody always comes out in suits. He can't fight in a suit. It's a suit. Can't fight in a suit. But those guys came out in comfortable enough gear that they literally had a match in the middle of a show. And that match was super, super good. And cooked like none other. Also that Mike Santana versus one of the Rascals match was really good. And then but no, I like the fact that those two guys, Walking Weapon, King of TNA, had a promo middle of the ring, ended up being a match. They both were just like, yeah, fuck it, we in the street clothes. Went out there, cooked, had a really good match, a really, really good match, and just entertained the crowd, man. That's something I'm a fan of.
Yeah, the fact that Josh Alexander can get the ankle lock and reverse any fucking move
Yeah,
gives me shades of Kurt Angle, and that makes me
yeah.
happy.
Bro had him in
It
a
just
chicken
proves-
wing, had him in a chicken wing on the ground,
and
and
a
then he rolled it over.
springboard leg drop as
Yeah.
well.
Oh my god, dude.
Any wrestler you can tell was inspired by Kurt Angle, and it brings a smile to my face because Kurt Angle.
Which why I will always say Dave Meltzer is a piece of shit because he never gave Kurt Angle a 5-star match. Like I don't understand that at all.
So my highlight of the week for Impact, besides the incredible Josh Alexander, was the finish, sort of the ballot box battle. Trey Miguel stuffed the ballot.
Of
He
course.
said he won, but according to Santino, Cold Stone Ace Austin was in second. And just the fact that we're gonna get to see Ace Austin versus Trey Miguel next week, and just the funniness of Cold Stone Santino, that was my favorite part of this.
Don't sleep on it. I think they announced Chris Bay and Mustafa are also on that same episode too.
Next week is gonna be cooking big time for TNA Impact.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, all 5 of you. Thank you for listening. Keep on subscribing to Mangria Fuel's YouTube page. The best is yet to come. But until then, we do what we do best here on the tripod every week, and we give that big ups to Stallion Pete.